Welcome to the show, Keith Anderson. Born in Dallas, your musical talents were recognized from an early age. You started playing drums until you found your true passion, which is the saxophone.
Yeah.
Your framework and work ethic you attribute to James Wilson, who's also directed you. You graduated from the Booker T. Washington School for Visual and Performing Arts, studying under the tutelage of Bart Morantz.
Yeah.
You then began playing professionally with Pat Peter, one of the original Ray Charles Raelettes, and you were later discovered by Les McCann, who was a major influence to you, and you traveled as his featured soloist.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
there's loads more to discuss with you and talk about what you've been up to, Keith. So thank you so much for joining us, and please do tell us more.
Yeah. I mean, Les McCann was my tutor, my mentor. He showed me all the ropes. He actually was in Dallas to hear another saxophone player, which was a friend of mine, and I went and sit in with him, and he was like, "Who are you?" And he asked me, "Do you know who Les McCann is?" I'm like, "Nope, never heard of him." So it was an interesting time, and he called me to do a show, and I didn't think this guy was serious. As musicians, we get that all the time. People say they're going to call and this and that, and he actually called and flew me out to Boston. We played at this jazz club called Scullers, but he called me to his room to go over a couple of things to bring my horn, and I had went out the day before and bought all the Les McCann records I could find, and we didn't play anything from any of those records.
Wow.
So as we're learning, he's going over these songs I've never heard. I'm writing everything down. And as I'm walking out the door, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I don't allow music on my stage." So,
Oh wow! See,
yeah, man. So he was an old school, but the gig went great, and he traveled the world with him for years and years. So I give a lot of my success to the stuff I learned from Les McCann.
yeah.
Listen here, right?
Listen here, man. That's Eddie Harris wrote that.
Oh,
But that
wow.
was a record. That was a record that I played on with Les McCann. It was called "Listen Here," though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow, man. So are you doing your own records now?
I am, man. I'm working on one I've been, really focusing on since Prince passed away. Um, it's gonna be kind of like funky. It's got a little bit of a Minnesota vibe, but more so like it's that drive that he used to always have, which a lot of people didn't get to hear because we did completely different stuff in the after parties that we did on the main show. So it was more stuff like that, funky, very modal, not a lot of crazy changes, just about a vibe more than anything. But I'm working on that. I got my guys on it, Bobby Sparks, Alan Cato, JT, who plays with Snarky Puppy. He just won a Grammy last week. It was interesting to
Wow.
see. He's playing with Toto now, the drummer with Toto. But his band's called Ghost Note, so it's going to be a very interesting project. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Now, who were some of your greatest social conscious music artists?
Marvin Gaye for sure.
Yes.
Um, I liked Gil Scott Heron, um, Cannonball Adderley.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the cats that a lot of people don't know about. Of course, everyone knows of Marvin Gaye, but it's really funny to know a lot of people's never heard of Gil Scott Heron. So you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. My ex-brother-in-law used to play with Gil Scott.
really,
Yeah, Bryant Jackson.
okay, all right.
Really, really cool brother. Tom, you got a question?
I've got loads of questions to be honest,
What is
Keith.
it?
But
Break them out. Break them out.
just looking through your info that you sent through to us, and we briefly mentioned just a moment ago. What was it like working with Prince? I mean, you worked with Prince, the New Power Generation, from I believe 2012 through to 2016. What was that about? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, it was an interesting, very very much so interesting time. We started out in 2012 as a 11-piece horn section.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
huge.
and the funny thing of how it came out, because at that time D'Angelo was really hot at the time, and one of Prince's guys was out, and it was referring stuff back to him, letting him know what was going on and telling him about the show. And he's like, uh, Prince asked, how many horns does he have? He goes, well, he had five. He had five horns. Then Prince goes, well, shit, I'm gonna have 11. So, so it was really, it really came out, that he just wanted to be on top of D'Angelo. It was so funny, but it worked out very well. So he called Cassandra. Cassandra, she was the keyboard at the time, and she referred Adrian Crutchfield, which is his crew is from South Carolina, and then Andrew Goucher, which I know you know Andrew from L.A. He referred Phil Lassiter as a horn player. So basically, we both had to play this one song called "Extra Lovable," and then we sent out these videos to Prince. So I flew to New York just to go do the video, and I flew back the same night. And
wow.
Prince just loved the whole thing, so he brought us all together on that. And then when I finally met Prince, he was like, "Yeah, I remember seeing you on some videos with Herbie Hancock in 2005 in Japan." I'm like, "Dang, I ain't even seen that video." So, but yeah, it was a fun time, man. And then after we did that from 2012 to 2014, and the big 11-piece horn section kind of faded away because he started the Third Eye Girl, but he decided to keep four horn players to do that.
Okay.
And I was one of the four that stayed out of that. So, and it was a good time. It was a good time.
Fantastic.
That was a cool gig, Nice Jazz Festival, right? And
yeah,
man.
I got to do that one again. I've done that festival with Les McCann, Roy Hargrove, and R.H. Factor, Marcus Miller. And also, I was out with this band in the 90s. It was called The Roots Salute the Saxophone. It was 5 crazy old school saxophone players. It was Sam Rivers, Nathan Davis, Arthur Blythe, Dewey Redmond, Chico Freeman, and me.
Yeah.
So
Chico Freeman, I ain't seen him in years, man.
Yeah, man.
I did one of his records years ago.
Really? Yeah, man.
He was living in France,
I think he still does.
Let's talk about Full of Soul. Your own band. Tell us a bit about that. What was who's in it, and where do you play, and how long you been doing it?
Well, it's a band that I put together. Like, we started like early 2000s, but I think I came with the name in like 2005. But it's basically Bobby Sparks on organ, and it started out as me, Bobby Sparks, and Jason Thomas. And Jason Thomas is an unbelievable drummer I was telling you about that plays with Snarky Puppy now. But we did it as a trio, and Bobby would play keyboard, bass, and keyboards, and then I would play the melodies and solo. And then once I stopped soloing, I would pick up my Iwi and play bass on it. So
it was a
crazy trio forever, man.
Nice.
And then afterwards we started, getting better gigs where we could add more people. So Chuck Smith was a local bass player that he's the OG in the band. So he's one of my best friends, and he we added him, and then along after that came Todd Parsono, which also played with the RH Factor. He's done a lot of stuff, and the band has just been, really cool for years, man. And we played a lot around town until I started going out with Marcus and then Prince and all the stuff, and we just kind of did sporadic stuff, and everybody else got busy. But we put the band back together to do this record, and it's been really good. And we just we play here and there, but everybody's so busy. But we're trying to set up a tour for next year in Europe, so hopefully we'll get out and you guys will hear it. So I'm actually going to be in Europe in May with Bobby Sparks. We're going to be all through Europe.
Bobby Sparks is the organ player.
Yeah, organ player. Yeah.
And are you coming to UK?
No, man. I wish I'd have known. I was just in UK at Coco's with MPG not too long ago. And I'm still touring with MPG now. So the band, I'm the only guy in the band that's not a part of the original MPG.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Morris and, Levi on guitar. He's from the Oakland area. it's really good. It's a really, really, really fun thing to get to play. And we got this new singer named Mackenzie. He's from
Okay.
LA area, and he's doing all the Prince stuff. So we're basically doing all of Prince's B arrangements that no one, that they would, that if they did do with some of the hits at the after parties, these were the other arrangements they didn't do at the regular party. So
Yeah.
we're out doing those arrangements because Mars had all, has all that stuff, and it's been really good. It's been, and I'm the only horn player, so I'm back to playing Iwi again on a lot of stuff. A lot of string or muted trumpet sounds. Anything that's not sax, if they wanted some auxiliary stuff, I'm playing a lot of Iwi. But of course, I still play sax solos and sax parts if there's something in there. So.
Yeah, man. Now, are you doing vocals on your record?
I mean, it's just background stuff. I mean, I have a couple of featured artists. One of my good friends, Lanisha Fentress, she's doing like a spoken word thing, and but not yet. But I'm thinking about. There's one song that I'm playing with right now that's an instrumental. I'm thinking about turning it into a vocal song. I'm really thinking about it, but it's mostly, like I said, instrumental, straight up hard funk vibe stuff.
Yeah.
And I did a record with Al Jarreau. It was called "Accentuate the Positive."
Okay.
I played on that record. That was Kirk Whalum was going to do it, and he couldn't get out of something he had going on, and he referred me, and it worked out good.
Man, you outstanding player, man. I love your playing. That's what blew me away. I said, man, I got to hook up with that brother. When you was playing with Marcus, right? And so cool, man. That's 207, man. We was hanging back then. You know what I mean? Wow.
Yeah, man. It's been a journey since then. Been a journey.
Wow, man. Tom?
Well, I just want to ask, what's next? What have you got in the pipeline? Anything new releases coming out? Anything?
Yeah, the new release that I'm working on for this year. I mean, it's going to come out before the end of the year, I'm sure. It's pretty much done. Like I said, the stuff, except I'm like, add that one tune, the vocals, and but it's pretty much done. So it's going to be out before the end of the year for sure. And I'm just debating where, how I'm gonna release it. So that's where my mind is right now. So it's in the process of being, a few of the songs in the process of being mixed as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be a good project. I think you guys enjoy it.
Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff with people in Portugal and in Africa, the Ghana and Rwanda. And there's some great players on this side, really great players on this side. A lot of people don't know about. That's what Music for Global Change is. I'm trying to link people from both sides to collaborate with each other. You know what I mean? And that's what didn't happen back in the day. You can hear all the great American music you want to over here, but they don't promote a lot of acts from over on this side.
And how do people get in touch with you? Are you on social media? How do people get in touch with what you're doing and kind of see what you're up to?
Yeah, I'm on social media. It's under Keith Anderson, or Saxologist, or on Instagram it's Saxologist 007.
Okay.
I'm just getting deep into the social media thing. I've been a dinosaur, so
me too.
Trying to get up there.
That's cool. Excellent.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, man. Namaste, brother. Thank you for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, appreciate you joining us. Thanks, Keith.
Glad I could do it, man. Glad I could do it. So
yeah, brother.
I brought my horn. I thought we was gonna do
let's do some. We got time for that. Come on.
Do a little something right quick.
Spontaneous jamming. Do it.
We can jam a little bit.
Go for it,
man.
Oh, fantastic. Good stuff.
So you doing soprano too, huh?
I play them all, man. I do. Tenor is probably my main instrument, but I play it all. So
blessings, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. Taking the time, man.
It. Thanks for joining
us. Definitely, man.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.